Today on Behind the Visor, I'm speaking to Raffaele Marciello, a driver who's accomplished so much by the age of 23. He rose through the ranks in karting, winning many championships, going on to race in Formula Bath, then winning the European Formula 3 Championship, going on to race in GP2, coming close to winning the championship on 3 occasions. He then went on to test for Sauber and do private tests for the Ferrari Formula 1 team. But after he realised he didn't have the budget behind him to race in Formula 1, he decided to switch to GT racing, which he's been hugely successful in. So here we are, the next episode of Behind the Visor with Raffaele Marciello. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Behind the Visor. Today we're talking to Mercedes driver Raffaele Marciello. So you started your career in 2005 in go-karts, winning quite a lot of races, lots of stuff. Was it hard to move into Formula Bath? Was it quite a big step up?
I mean, I started like earlier. I was in 99, but I was not able to do races. And I mean, I went to Formula Bath quite early. I was only 15, so now you're not allowed anymore to do Formula 15. You have to be 16. So I mean, I felt it was the time to go on Formula karting. I was in a good level, and to continue in karting was like pointless. So I mean, it was a good step to go in Formula Bath. Bigger difference for sure, because from a small car to a real car is a big step. But I had a good team, good test, so it was quite easy to do the change. Yeah.
So in 2010 you had quite a big, large split in the Bath series. Does an accident like that affect how you go about your business, or is it just part of the job?
I mean, it was my biggest accident. I mean, until now I didn't have a bigger accident than that. I broke 2 vertebrae, so I mean, it was quite big. But after I think 3 weeks, I was racing again, and I won the race after. I mean, I think because I was quite young and crazy, so it didn't affect me so much. I even don't remember so well. It's a long time ago. If will happen, I think today maybe, because now I'm older, maybe it can affect me. But when you're 15, you don't care about nothing, so you just go flat out always.
So at the end of that 2010 season, if I'm correct, you were invited to the Ferrari Academy. Was that quite a big step in your career moving?
No, end of 2009, I went in Ferrari Academy. So in Formula Bath I was already a Ferrari driver, and for sure was a big step. Every driver watch you when you are like a Ferrari driver. They all want to pass you, but they helped me for sure in my growth career. But I think like with them or without them, like you can learn anyway. But for sure was a big help.
So going into 2011, you won the Italian Formula 3 series. So how big is the difference between a Formula Bath, like a very basic, I guess, single-seater, to a Formula 3? Is it quite a step up?
Yeah, I mean, I think Formula Bath is a big kart, so like everyone, I think from kart, they can go quick in Formula Bath, or Formula Renault is the same car at then, because there is not so much downforce. The driving style is quite similar to a kart still. Formula 3 started to be almost a Formula 1 in the downforce level, so it was quite difficult to learn how to use the downforce, but I think the best car ever is the Formula 3 still for me. I mean, I think now the new Formula 1 are really good, but at the time I was driving Formula 3, the Formula 1 and GP2 was not super downforce, and I think Formula 3 or even World Series was like the best Formula cars.
So then going into 2012 and 2013, you went into Europe, and then winning the championship in 2013. Was that a massive moment? Because I guess that's quite close to Formula 1 in terms of your level.
Yeah. Only like if you watch like what Max Verstappen did. He did second in the first year in Formula 3, he did second, and now he's in Formula 1 and doing quick. Okay, mistake, but he's still one of the quickest. So I think what he did is the same. So I don't see why he can be Formula 1 and me no, but I mean it's okay. But for sure the Formula 3 Euro in that year was like really good level. It was me, Rosenquist, Verlaine, Juncadella, like many guys now they're doing the WEC factory driver. So for sure was a big moment, yeah, for me.
So then you went on to race in GP2, F2, 2014, claiming quite a few race victories at the time. But was it hard to battle against people that have been in there for like 4 or 5 years? Do you think that's a little bit maybe unfair in a way to stay that long?
No, I mean, the GP2 is quite tricky category. You need a really good team behind. My first year the team was quite good, but not the best. I did a few mistakes, but at the end was okay. Then the second year we decided, just the wrong team. It was not the best team. We were really slow. So then when you're so close to Formula One, also if you won every championship before, then you pass for a bad driver because you are close to Formula One.
Yeah.
It is just wrong for me, yeah.
So is it hard to decide between the teams? Because I guess...
No, just budget.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go in top team, it's 1.5 million. I didn't have 1.5 million, so I had to go into low budget team, and you can see the difference when you go into top team or not.
So then in 2014 and 2015 you tested Ferrari and Sauber cars. I mean, you're one of the lucky people to actually test an F1 car. How different is that to any other car that you've driven?
I mean, compared to GP2, Sauber is not so different. I mean, at the point, now the car are massively quicker, so now I think the difference is huge, but at the time was not so different. I did FP1 in some race when I was driving also GP2, and jumping from GP2 to Sauber, GP2 was even quicker in some corners, so it's not so... I mean, the engine, the turbo was super power, but the car in the corner was not behaving so well. And yeah, I mean, driving Ferrari was a big step with Sauber. The car, you can feel the downforce, everything, so it was for sure different.
So in 2016, or the end of 2016, you said you were not going to pursue a career in Formula One. Is that really tough to sort of take as a driver? Because obviously you've been building your whole career up for it, and you've had so much success in the junior formula.
Yeah, I think if you are clever, it's not tough, because it's bad to say, but in F1, the guy who have a salary is only the top team, the McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and that's it almost. So sometimes you have to say, like, I want to have a motorsport as a work. I mean, my daily work and everything. If you want to do that, or you have the biggest budget ever to do Formula One, or you have to think like you can go in GT and be a factory driver. Then it's because I was good in Formula, for sure Mercedes, they helped me in GT, but if a good driver is good in Formula, then I suggest to go, to like accept the reality, because there is only 6 places in Formula One where you are paid. You have to be lucky in the right moment. So now I feel lucky to be a factory driver here. So I think every driver at one point should say, no, stop, I have to go in another category.
Accept that you can't make it to Formula One, but you can still have a great career in something else, so one of the controversial things in F1 this year is the halo. Have you any experience with that? Do you think that's going to really affect Formula One in any way?
I mean, I think it's something just for the journalists to speak about something, because if we see why they put halo, I don't see the point. If we take the Felipe Massa crash, with the halo was going to happen. Jules crash with the halo was the same, because it didn't crash the head on the accident. So they put halo because some crash like Schumacher in Abu Dhabi was close with the head, but he didn't. So I never see a guy in Formula One die because he hit the head. Okay, maybe Sartis died here because the tire in Indy, but it's different. It's not F1. So I think it's just stupid. It's just a grid girl stuff they do. I don't see the point to put a halo. They should change the rules when there is a tractor on track, like in back weapon, and the safety car. Put like red flag or something. This is the bullshit part, but it's just for speak Formula One every day.
So in 2017 you switched to race for Mercedes GT cars, finishing P3 in the Spa 24 hours after driving a 13-hour stint.
14.
14? John wrote that question, so I'll blame him.
It was 4 times 3 hours and once 2 hours.
How do you prepare yourself for stamina and concentration, or was that just something you never expected you were ever gonna?
I mean, the plan was to do 11 hours in the race, but not 14. So I changed a bit my plan for sleeping. So it was quite tough. I mean, I'm quite lucky driver because I don't have to train a lot and I can be quite busy on driving. I'm quite relaxed when I drive, so I don't need a lot of energy. And also, if you look at me, I'm quite skinny, everything. Some drivers are bigger because when they drive, maybe are more stressful, so they have to be more tense. I mean, we were in a good position to fight, so they asked me if you feel to do more hours. I said, of course, I want to win the race. And in fact, in the podium, I didn't make to the podium because at the end of the race, I collapsed. So I had to went to hospital to some flebo, but I mean, it's Spa and Nordschleife is all really important race. And when you are there and you're close to win, also if they ask you to do like all the race alone, I say yes. I mean, I'm a racing driver. And if they ask me to do that, I say yes. So I tried and we almost did it.
So do you prepare any differently for shorter races, or is it all just the same sort of training?
No, I mean, GT cars is not so tough to drive physically. I think it's more mentally because you can push every lap. So you have to be really focused every lap, and it's almost qualifying every lap. So as Spa, it's 14 hours, like was quali 14 hours. Where in Formula, you have to manage tires, stairs. I don't train so much, luckily. Mentally, I think I'm also lucky that I don't have to train mentally, and I can do a good stint. I do some simulators, some stuff, but nothing special actually. But I'm a strange driver, so it's better don't to look what I'm doing.
So you've raced in a lot of race series over your time. Is there one that you haven't raced in that you really want to go into, maybe Formula E, or is that not something that you're interested in right now?
I think Formula E is the future somehow, so for sure I would like to do Formula E, and it's good because you can do Formula E and still GT3 because it's
scheduling.
Yeah, there is no clash, so for sure Formula E and GT is my goal for the future. There is Indy, GTE, but now I'm with Mercedes, so I'm focused on GT3 and maybe Formula E win them, but I mean it's still a long time to go. Now I have this year I have something like 20 races in GT3, so it's better if I focus in this year and then we'll see the future.
I've seen you've been very busy, like pretty much every week this start of the season. You've been doing a race. Has that been kind of hard to get used to, or do you like it?
Like more time I spend on track, better it is. It's my work, so if I'm at home it's boring, so it's better to go on track. It's quite tough because I have to do the Blank Pen Asia, that is quite far. There is the Laguna, Suzuka, that is also far away, Australia, Macau again maybe, so I have to travel quite a lot, maybe even more as a Formula 1 driver, but I don't have all the media stuff they do. But I mean, it's living the dream, so I mean, I cannot complain about my schedule, and it's good.
Do you have a favourite track right now, one that you just love going to every time?
I think I'm lucky in GT3 there are many good tracks. Macau, Imola is also really good. Bathurst is really good. Po in France is really good. I mean, I think all the tracks are quite nice, except maybe Po Ricard, where it's all terrain of fire is quite bad, but in GT3 almost every track are quite special. All kind track like Brenzati is all there. Silverstone is still nice, but now with terrain of fire is a bit bad, but all the track are quite nice.
So my last question was, for any young drivers out there wanting to get in the sport, is there any way you'd recommend to get in the sport? Is there any route you think works?
No, I mean, you need to have budget for sure for start. Then it's good to realize if you are good enough or not, because there are many guys that think are good, and I mean they are not, and they continue to spend money. It's better maybe to be good to yourself and say maybe I'm not good for Formula, but for GT there is a silver cup that can be a good silver. I mean there are many opportunities that is good to have a good view in everything, and
you can always find somewhere that you're going to race in. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you everybody, and see you soon. So there we are, another episode of Behind the Visor, and for me, one of the most awesome ones to complete, because Raffaele and I have spoke to each other on DMs for quite a long time, and then we sort of set up this interview, and it was really cool to meet him in person, understand a lot about his career, because he's had a really interesting career for a 23-year-old. He's only 1 year older than me, I look at his career, it's like, oh my goodness, he's done so much in, you know, just a few years of motorsport. So it was really interesting to know what it was like to test a Formula 1 car, and then why he couldn't really pursue that, because he was definitely good enough to race in Formula 1, and the budget just was never there for him. I think that's one of the sad things about Formula 1 nowadays. Definitely more than ever, really, the best drivers can't make it to the top just because of budget. We've known recently people like Force India having to go into administration. Somebody that finished like 4th place in the Constructors' Championship last year, they haven't got the budget behind them, even though they've got a driver in Sergio Perez who definitely brings a lot of money, and obviously Esteban Ocon getting money from the Mercedes sort of side of things. So money is the big problem in Formula 1 nowadays. Hopefully over the next couple of years we'll be able to make sure that the budget thing is not much of an issue and the best drivers do get through to the sport. But yeah, it was a really interesting with Raffaele, and yeah, thank you for his time, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I should let you know that a lot of these interviews are for a university project that's coming out next year. I'm really excited for this project to be fully released, but the reason why I'm uploading the full interviews now is because I know not all of these interviews in their full are going to be sort of shown to you in this documentary I'm making. So I want to make sure you guys get all the content, because I feel that you guys would really enjoy seeing all these. So yeah, fingers crossed that you guys are enjoying them, and I hope you're going to be looking forward to the documentary, which is going to be coming out next year, which is going to be my best one of my best, hopefully my best piece of work I've ever done. So it's going to take a long time to complete, but yeah, maybe next summer you'll see what I'm doing. I'm excited to see what you're going to think of it. So thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you guys around soon. Goodbye.